Hi, my name is Satish Sukumar. I'm the CTO of StackRoute. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to talk to you about what it takes to be a full stack programmer. I'm sure you've heard this term many times. Different people use the word full stack programmer to mean different things. Well, here is our take on it. A take which may be relevant because the entire program which you guys are going to experience over the next few weeks is driven by this particular take. So here goes. First, a full stack programmer, according to us, is someone who can build, test, and release a complete, non trivial application by themselves if required. You heard me right. They can build, test, and release a non trivial application completely just by themselves if required. That means no silos. A full stack programmer is not someone who says that, hey, you know what, I only know the backend, I only know the database. Nope. So, full stack programmer, you're expected to be able to know and build and test and release complete apps. Build the front end, build the middleware, build the test cases, connect to your data stores, build your release scripts, put the whole application out. And that too, non-trivial applications. We're not talking about hello world. We're not talking about simple e-commerce applications. We're talking about really sophisticated things. So what does it take? It actually is a combination of three things the way we see it. First, you need to have very good tech stack knowledge. For us, that means the mean stack, but well, it could also have been the Java stack, right? It also means a specific way of building client applications, perhaps using AngularJS, perhaps using React, of middleware which are microservices, or rather what we call reactive microservices, things which can scale, which can be deployed, which can be replaced on the fly, which can be upgraded on the fly. Things which connect to extremely large and powerful data stores. Efficient queries, high performant applications. Right? That's your tech stack. The second part of your tech stack is what it takes to deploy these apps, which is the DevOps part of life. Not just deploy, but build and deploy. So there is the entire bit of automated testing. So you're going to hear a whole host of tools: Chai, Mocha, Jasmine, a plethora of them. You're going to work with continuous integration pipelines like Jenkins, and you're going to be deploying your applications into small micro containers, right? Typically using Docker. Understanding that set of tools and knowing what to do with it is extremely important. That's a DevOps part. The third part, right, is basically what we call engineering discipline. According to us, this is perhaps the most important thing which you can learn. Engineering discipline is the background thinking which makes you write good code. It's basically what drives you to do TDD, right? So TDD is simple. TDD basically means that before you write a piece of code, you think about a test case, and then you write enough of a code to actually pass that test case, and then you refactor. Merely doing automated testing is not TDD. TDD is a discipline. Maintaining Git hygiene is a discipline. Maintaining coding standards is a discipline, right? And there is no shortcuts around these things, right? So either you do them properly or you don't do them properly, right? We call it code ethics, for example. That's a term which we use. And engineering discipline is what makes really great programmers. So for us, it's these three things: the combination of your tech stack knowledge, combination of your DevOps and automated testing knowledge, and combination of your engineering discipline is what makes you a full stack programmer. So why do we need to do this? Why is it so important suddenly, right? Multiple reasons. If you look at where digital projects are today, they're really demanding a completely new way of thinking. Gone are the times where people would give you, very detailed requirement specifications, right, and tell you that, line by line, this is what you need to do. More and more projects today are one-line descriptions, and you either know how to do it or you don't know how to do it. Now, when you get a one-line requirement, the first thing which changes is that you have to take, tremendous ownership of that requirement. Right? It's your job to actually think it out. It's your job to figure out what to do with it. Okay? That's the ownership part. But ownership absolutely requires agility. Agility is, the underlying driver for agile development. Now, when we talk about agile development, what we are fundamentally talking about is an atmosphere of trust, an equation of trust between you and your customers. You should be happy at any point of time to open your code out and share that with your customer. Your code is your deliverable. For you to do that, your code quality has to be extreme. You can't show them code which is crappy, right? That is discipline. That's the first thing which is required by digital projects today. Second, we used to have these projects earlier with large QA teams and people responsible for quality assurance of our apps and things like that. Times are changing. Developers are responsible for the quality of their app. Therefore, quality engineering becomes a fundamental part of what you do. If you don't know how to write automated test cases, if you don't know how to think automated testing, you don't have a place in a product engineering team, right? And that's fundamental. When people are making consumer applications and releasing it very, very fast, right? If there is no suite of automated test cases, what are you going to do? How are you going to test your apps, right? And if you go to a customer and say, I don't know automated testing, then I don't think you have a place inside that team. That's something which is changing. And the third thing is completeness. Remember what I said. You are taking ownership of releasing, potentially consumer facing applications. So think product. Being able to do that end to end, including thinking of the development environment, thinking of the deployment environment, how it is tested, documenting, performance, everything, right, is now mandatory. This is the nature of digital projects, which is the reason why increasingly customers are asking for people who are multi-skilled individuals, who can become the core of the team, who can actually get a set of people around them. And these guys can be trusted to actually deliver a complete app all by themselves. That's why you need to become a full stack programmer. So what is it that you need to do? First, learn the tech stack. Mean, MERN, what have you, right? It could be Angular, it could be React, your database could be Cassandra, Node.js is what we're going to be spending a lot of time with, right? So that's fundamentally what you need to learn. Of course, it also means that you master JavaScript. JavaScript is a little tricky as a language. Some of you may be familiar with JavaScript from your browser side validations and things like that. But genuine server side async programming with JavaScript, not easy, right? It takes some time to actually get your mind around it. But anyway, the tech stack is the first thing which you learn. You don't learn unless you write a lot of code. So keep writing a lot of code. Right? More code you write, the more familiar you are with the language, more comfortable you get, better your vocabulary. Third, develop your programming discipline. As I said earlier, you should be ready at any instant of time to share your code with your customer. For that, your code has to be clean. The way you write it has to be, seriously disciplined. Otherwise, you're going to be ashamed to share your work with your customers, especially when your customers are tech savvy, right? And the only alternative to it is to have a serious programming discipline. 4, learn more, not just the mean stack. You have to learn a lot more. There's a whole bunch of ancillary technologies, and write more. Not just code, but start writing stories, start writing blog posts, learn how to actually write and communicate, learn how to speak about your technologies. And then rinse and repeat. This cycle has to keep continuing, keep continuing, keep continuing. And this is what will make you a full stack programmer. So welcome to the program. Over the next few weeks, we're all going to have fun, write a lot of stuff, do some seriously challenging work. So I hope you enjoy yourself. Remember, ask questions, keep asking questions, right? And that's the only way you're actually going to learn. So thanks, have fun.